Hey you guys, welcome in. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Brianna. I do godly content, so please hit that like button as you come in so we can get this godly content pushed down its YouTube algorithm. Please, can I get a like for the spiritual warfare? All right, you guys. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Gossip is witchcraft. When somebody is gossiping on somebody, they are speaking death on that person, whether they're speaking death on that person's mind, soul, spirit, or body, they are speaking death. Our words have power, and they have the power to speak life or death. So, in black and white, the truth is if somebody is speaking lies, slander, manipulation, or even stretching the truth to ruin a person's reputation, that person is basically casting spells to attack that person. When a person builds, creates, then spreads a negative narrative to any listener, it's easy for people to be listeners to some negative tea these days. But when they build that and guide it and spread it to the listeners without using factual evidence or building a factual case, just stating what the situation was, instead manipulating that situation to where those listeners then see that person in a negative light, that is manipulation and that is modern day witchcraft. We have to stop believing that all witchcraft is rituals, potions, because spells are witchcraft too, and spells are words and phrases, and so is lies, manipulation, and gossip. And gossip is really when somebody that has enough evil in them to build a whole negative scenario, a whole negative narrative in hopes to basically ruin somebody's reputation and separate people. The Bible calls these type of people whisperers because they go around whispering evil in people's ear behind people's back to create big problems. And they do all this with the evil heart that's filled with bad intentions, envy, and deceit. Sadly, gossip is common and a part of most people's everyday lives because most people would rather trauma bond and hurt other people for those reasons rather than heal and start healthy journeys. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So, what I mean by trauma bonding is a majority of people would rather meeting people and building relationships with people from negative from connecting on negative experiences. For example, there's this trend going around where people are like missing their work besties. And when you think of it, when these people have work besties, they become work besties because they bond on the fact that they don't like management. They bond on the fact that they don't get along with their other coworkers. They bond on negative experiences rather than bonding on positive experiences or common interests. It's no longer about bonding on things that you can get along, you get along for these reasons, or we both like these certain things. No, we bond because we both don't like something. And that's really how people are building relationships with people these days. The devil has people right where he wants them, believing that some sins are better than others when all sins are equal for good reason. He has people believing that since they're only attacking people's spirit, mind, soul, what's on the inside through vicious words where they're not getting too loud. They're not, attacking these people vicious. It's very secret. It's very quiet. It's very whispering in other people's ear, and they're not attacking these people to their face, trying to kill their physical body. So this makes them, they're not that bad of a person since they're doing it in a very calm, chilled level. Mental harm is just as evil as physical harm. These people are building armies where people are taking people through all types of mental gymnastics and then expecting them to act as if everything's normal, act as if nothing is going on, it's all okay. This is why so many people are losing their minds because they're expected to act normal or act like everything's okay within these psychotic society norms. This stuff, this type of behavior is society norms. This psycho manipulation, mental gymnastics is society norms. Witchcraft It's society norms, the devil's playground, basically. The devil loves the way the world is currently functioning. He loves the fact that people have become so carnal that they believe that the sins that they are creating, the way that they're harming people is not as bad. They believe the sin that they're doing is one of the better sins rather than one of the worst sins. They have given themselves the power to determine what is worse when it comes to sin. And they also, carnal people that are far away from God, have given themselves the power to determine what is sin and what is not sin, even though God has clearly stated in the Bible, and also if you're following him, he'll state to you and put it on your heart, your mind, and understanding and enlightenment what is sin and what is not sin. So, how does a carnal person determine that for themselves? And do know that these gossipers, these people spreading this evil, do not come off as vicious, angry, evil people. These are those nice people, not kind, nice people that are pretending to be nice in order to stab people in the back. And these people hate chosen ones because we see right through them. We see everything they're doing. We just see it. I don't know why everybody else can't see it, but we see it clearly. So we quickly become their number one target so they can quickly taint our image before the truth gets out about who they truly are. And also realize that you don't have to be that level of evil to fall into the demonic spirit of gossip. This spirit is everywhere because it's been installed within all connections, whether it's family, friends, workplaces. It's connected within all those connections, and it's it's highly accepted and highly pushed and highly influenced and highly peer pressured, so it's easy to fall into. And when it comes to spreading the demonic tea, if you want to avoid it, you are going to have to stand out as a boring eyeball. You're going to have to cut people off, and you're going to have to stand on your boundaries because it is just so easy to fall into this spirit because so many people believe that it's harmless. So they peer pressure others into doing it. And when you don't want to do it because you see it for what it truly is, you make them feel like they're being harmful, which is the truth. You're being harmful with the powerful, vicious evil that you're spitting out of your mouth. So it needs to be avoided. And people don't like to feel like they're a bad person, like they're being harmful. So they're going to mark you as a problem. And a lot of people don't have the courage to stand out or keep standing out, standing on business on what the truth is and what we're not supposed to be doing, even when it comes to sin. And remember, when times get rough, because they're going to get rough, I ain't never felt a more, and I was a rough rider growing up. I ain't never been through a rougher experience than when I started following the Lord. It gets ghetto, it gets all types, but at the end of the day, it's beautiful and it's purposeful. And we have to have faith during all this suffering. If anytime we need to have the strongest amount of faith, it's when we're going through the most suffering, when it gets the hardest, when we're being tested, because that's what it's all about. This is what it comes down to. The the suffering is a test of your faith. That's why it gets so rough and tough because it's a true test. It's the best test, specially designed for you, specially designed to take you through a fire to create gold out of you. And I'm quoting Peter, y'all. That's Peter like 8 through 10. Peter 1 Peter 1 through 8. Yeah, I just started Peter. Peter, man, I can only read one verse and go through all the definitions because that man, Woo! And it's crazy too, because like I'm thinking as I'm reading Peter, all that happened during while Jesus, was going through the cross thing, and they talk about the big things that Peter did as well. But Peter was still a ride or die. And the Peter even starts with saying like Peter was a true prophet. He was of Christ. He was still sanctified and everything through the Holy Spirit and Jesus Christ. So we make mistakes. We mess up. I don't want people always think that we trying to say that we perfect. We not perfect. We mess up. We make big mistakes. But at the end of the day, we ride or die for Jesus Christ. And that's what it's all about. And that's why we're being taken through all this. Because we gonna be gold. We gonna be golden. But anywho, at the end of the day as well, it's always better for God and Jesus to have your back rather than anybody on this earth. So when you're out here suffering in on this earth in this everyday matrix life stuff, it's okay to take that L to avoid sinning. It sounds completely bananas to carnal people and sinners, but that's a test of your faith. You know what you're doing. Keep believing in what you're doing. Keep believing in what God has put on your heart and your mind through enlightenment. And take these L's because you're really taking these L's in love for God, in love for Jesus, in love for these people, and in love for yourself. But yeah, you guys, that's all I have to say for today. I like this little video. um, yeah, I like it. But anywho, go ahead and hit that like button so we can get this godly content pushed out in this YouTube algorithm. And thank you so much for making it to the end. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.